First, remember, in case of definite integration, you don't get a constant. Second part, you should remember that once you are done with the integral part, you need to first substitute the upper limit, then substitute the lower limit, and then subtract the two. I repeat it. First step, first you should remember that the limits depend on the differential part. That means if I write here dx, limit would be in terms of x. If I write here dy, limit would be in terms of y. If I write here dz, limit would be in terms of z. Then I said this is called as the lower limit and this is called as the upper limit. Second part, remember there won't be a constant, no constant. Third part, remember first solve the integral, then substitute the upper limit, the lower limit, subtract the two. So here, no constant. The limit depends on the differential. Third, substitute the upper limit first, then the lower limit and find the difference. I start with the first sum over here. It is question number 1, the first part, fill in the blanks from the HSC sheet. These are all fill in the blank question. It would be there in the fill in the blank section itself in definite integrals. Now, if you see here, integration of x raised to 4 between 2 and 3. This is dx. So the limit would be in terms of x. This is dx. So the limit would be in terms of x. Now, this is in terms of x. X first solve this as if it is a indefinite integration problem. What is integration of x raised to 4? It is x raised to 5 upon 5. No constant here. Why? Because it is definite integration. Then first substitute the upper limit, then substitute the lower limit and subtract it. I take 1 upon 5 out. First I'll substitute the upper limit, 3 raised to 5 minus 2 raised to 5. This is 1 upon 5. 3 cube 27, 381, 243 minus 32. So this would be 1 by 5 into 211. So this is the final value. Second part. Zero to 8, 3x squared dx is 8. Now today there has been a newspaper. Newspaper article which states that some of the questions which have been put in this HSC board sheet are not from the syllabus, but you don't need to worry about it. As it is, we have covered each and every sum. So as far as you all are concerned, you won't face any problem for the same. Now here, this is 3x squared dx equal to 8. As I said, this is definite integration dx, so limit would be in terms of x, no constant here. This is dx, so answer would be in terms of x. Take 3 out, solve it as if it is a indefinite integration problem. You get x cubed by 3. 3 and 3 gets cancelled. This is 0 to a and this is equal to 8. This and this gets cancelled. When I substitute the upper limit, I get a cube. Then when I substitute the lower limit, I get 0. So a cube minus 0 cube is 8. A cube is 2 cube. Therefore, now had it been even power, I would have written plus or minus. Here this is just plus. Only one sign out of the two. Four and 9. Again, here if you observe, this is dx upon root x. Treat it as if this is an indefinite integration problem. So here you would get This is f of x and its derivative is f dash x, which is 1. Now, therefore, the answer would be 2 times root x without any constant, because this is definite integration. First substitute the upper limit, then the lower limit, and then this would be 2 root 9 minus root 4. Consider only the positive values. This would be 2 into 3 minus 2. So this is 2. Fourth one, e raised to x dx between 0 and 2 is equal to, this is e raised to x between 0 and 2. This is e raised to 2 minus e raised to 0. E square minus 1. This is the answer. Once I'm done with full integration, that is integration, definite integration and application of definite integration, I'll put all of them up on the video, up on the server, and I'll give you a link for the same. Now here, this is dx upon x. I cannot put it part by part because I won't be able to append to it. So I need to put it together. I'm waiting for the lectures to get over. Once it gets over, I'll append all of them and I'll put it together on the website. You can view it any number of times before your board exam, but only till your board exam. Now dx upon x plus 5 is what? Here I can treat this as x term. This is x term which is linear, so I can treat it as x. 1 upon x would be log x plus 5 between minus 2 and 3. No constant over here. I substitute the upper limit first. I'll get log 3 plus 5, 8. Now I'm not putting mod over here because this is positive. Minus log of minus 2 plus 5 is 3. Log 8 minus log 3 is log 8 by 3. Yeah, this is x upon x square minus 1. If you treat this as an indefinite integration problem, if you see this is linear, this is quadratic, I'll try and get the derivative of the denominator in the numerator. For that, I'll multiply and divide with 2. So I would be getting here 2 to 3. This is x square minus 1. Now that would give me 1 upon 2 and then log of denominator plus c. Sorry, no c. Here, this would be 2 and 3. Since this is definite integration, you won't get a constant here. 1 upon 2, first substitute the upper limit. You will get 3 square, 9 minus 1, 8. And minus log of 2 square minus 1, that is 3. So this is 1 upon 2. This is log a minus log b, that is log 8 upon 3. Now, if I try to figure out these questions from the textbook, this is miscellaneous exercise 6. Question number 3, question number 1, the third part. This is question number 1, the second part, miscellaneous exercise 6. This is question number 4. This is question number 1, the sixth part. This is question number 1, the fifth part. This is question number 1, the seventh part. The 7th, 8th and the 9th problem of the fill in the blanks are based on properties. I'm not touching that right now. First, I'll cover up those questions which can be solved directly. Question number 2, 1 to 6 are missing, I guess. I cannot find 1 to 6 here. 1 to 2 x squared dx. Now what you can do over here is, since this is definite integration, this limit would be in terms of x. Now this is x cubed by 3, 1 to 2. You take 1 upon 3 out. First take 2 square, 2 cube minus 1 cube. So 8 minus 1 is 7 upon 3. Take 4 out. Integration of x cube would be x raised to 4 by 4 between 0 and a, and that is equal to 81. This and this gets cancelled. A raised to 4 minus 0 raised to 4 is 81. Now, if you see, this is even power, so this would be plus or minus. Now 3 raised to 4 is 81. So a is plus or minus 3. This is 0 to 1, e raised to 2x dx. Now, if you observe this, this is e raised to x. You can treat this as x. So, this would be e raised to 2x upon 2 between 0 and 1. Take half out. This would be e raised to 2 minus e raised to 0. So, this would be e raised to 2 minus 1. 1 to 2, this is dx upon 2x plus 3. I can treat this as x. Reason being, this is linear. So 1 upon x would be log x. But then you have to divide by the coefficient of x, that is 2 here, and between 1 and 2. So half, you take it out. This would be log 2 into 2, 4 plus 3, 7 minus log 2 plus 3, 5. So log 7 minus log 5, it is log 7 by 5. Tenth one, 2 to 4. If you observe here, linear upon quadratic, again, when you have linear upon quadratic, try to get the derivative of the denominator in the numerator. So you have to multiply with 2, you will get 2 to 4, 2x dx by x square plus 1. Now, derivative of denominator is the numerator, so answer is half of log 2x square plus 1 between 2 and 4. This is half. Here you will get log of 4 square is 16 plus 1 17 minus log of 2 square is 4 plus 1 5. This is log a minus log b, so it is log a by b. The next question is based on some property. I am not touching upon that. I'll come to question number 3, the first part. Zero to a, 3x squared dx is equal to 27. Now take 3 out. Integration of x square, x raised to n is x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1 between 0 and a. It is equal to 27. This and this gets cancelled. First you substitute the upper limit, then the lower limit. A cube is 27, a cube is 3 cube. It would be plus 3 cube, a is 3. It is not 2.5. Next, 1 upon 2x plus 5 between 0 and 1. This can be treated as x. 1 upon x would be log x divided by x coefficient between 0 and 1. Take a half out. This would be log of 2 plus 5, 7 minus 0 plus 5. So it would be half of log of 7 by 5. That half is missing, so it would be wrong. Now, if you observe here, I'm not able to locate any of these sums. I'll leave it to you. You can search for it later on. I'm not able to locate any of these sums. I don't want to waste my time behind these sums, so you can just take it down and you can search for it later. Take a pic of the same so that you have the solution for it. Next one is x upon x square plus 1 between, that is question number 3, the third part. Between 2 and 3, x upon x square plus 1. Now, if you observe here, this is linear, this is quadratic, so I'll multiply with 2 and divide by 2. So I'll get 2x dx here upon x square plus 1. The derivative of denominator is the numerator, so I'll get half of log x square plus 1. And between 2 and 3, so here half of log 3 square 9 plus 1 minus log of 2 square 4 plus 1. So this would be half log of 10 upon 5, that is 2. So this answer is correct. The remaining 3 are based on property. So I'll move on to they haven't mentioned the question number, but I assume it to be question number 4 itself. Question number 4, solve the following 3 marks. 0 to 1, x square plus 3x plus 2 dx upon root x. Now, if you observe here, treat this as if it is indefinite integral problem. Indefinite means not defined. Here it is defined, but you treat it as if it is an indefinite integration problem. Now, divide each term by root x and solve it separate. So, I would get here x square upon root x plus 3x upon root x plus 2 upon root x, and this is all between 0 and 1. Now when I take index, this is square, this is raised to half, This becomes 2 minus half, that is 3 by 2 dx. This is x upon root x into root x. So I can say it is root x gets cancelled, x raised to half here plus 2. This can be solved directly. This is root x and its derivative. This derivative of x is 1. So that is this term f dash x. Therefore, I'll get over here 2 into root x and between 0 and 1. Now, what is integration of x raised to 3 by 2? It is x raised to 5 by 2 upon 5 by 2 plus 3 into x raised to 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2 plus 2 root x between 0 and 1. It goes up, this becomes 2 upon 5, x raised to 5 by 2 plus 2, 3 and 3 gets cancelled, x raised to 3 by 2 plus 2 root x between 0 and 1. Now when I substitute the upper limit, I'll first get 2 upon 5, 1 raised to 5 by 2, that is 1, plus 2 into 1 plus 2 root 1 minus, this would all be 0. Now this is 2 by 5 plus 4, so that would be 5 plus 4, 5 into 4, 22 by 5. Say.
So the last term should be 4 root x, no?
Which one?
Last term, 2 root x, you have written, it should be 4 root x.
Yes, it should have been 4 root x, 2 into 2 root x. Perfect. Yeah, always verify all these questions from what solution I have solved. This is just meant for a rough solution for you. This is plus 4. I may make calculation mistake because I'm doing all of them in a haste. 6 by 30, this is 32 by 5. In fact, board has even provided the final answers. You can verify it from there also. Yeah, thank you. Who was that? Who was that who helped me?
Lamya.
Lamya. Okay. Here, this is dx upon root 1 plus x plus root x. Now, if you observe here, you have a root x term plus here. When you have a root x term plus or minus, take the conjugate and multiply it. So, you would be getting here 0 to 1. This is 1 upon root 1 plus x plus root x into root of 1 plus x minus root x divided by root of 1 plus x minus root x. Now, the numerator would be root 1 plus x minus root x divided by, when I take a plus b into a minus b, it is 1 plus x minus x. X and x gets cancelled. Now, when I take these two separate, I would get root 1 plus x, that is 1 plus x raised to 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2 minus x raised to 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2, and this is between 0 and 1. Do point out if you figure out any calculation mistake. First substitute the upper limit 1, this is 2 by 3, then substitute the upper limit. This is also when you substitute 1, you will get 2 raised to 3 by 2. Then minus, when you substitute 0, this will become 1 raised to 3 by 2. This would also become minus 2 by 3, 1 raised to 3 by 2. This is 0. This is 2 by 3 into 2 raised to 3 by 2. Take 2 by 3 out. You get 2 root 2 raised to 3 by 2. Remember, a raised to 3 by 2 is a root a. So 2 raised to 3 by 2 is 2 root 2 and this is minus 1. Does anyone have the answers for the same? I haven't taken the printout for the same. So if anyone has the answers, you can always verify it. Which exercise are these questions from? This should be all from the first exercise itself. Yeah, this is in fact x upon I'm not able to locate this. This is question number 4, x square plus 3x. In the textbook, this is given as x square minus 1. Whereas in the board questionnaire, it is given as x square plus 1. Okay, yeah. This is same as exercise 6.1, question number 3, but with a plus sign. So there is a minus sign there. This is x square plus 3x plus 2. This is exercise 6.1, question number 4. This is 1 plus root x plus. This is exercise 6.1, question number 9.
Sir,
Yeah, see.
sir, that we substitute zero in
Right.
second last step.
Right.
So, sir, the second term will become zero, but the first term will remain.
Oh my God. Yeah. Right. This would be 2 by 3 into 0. Yes. So this would be minus 1 and here also minus 1. So this would be 2 and minus 1. So this would be 4 upon 3 into root 2 minus 1. You can verify the answer from behind the textbook itself. You can verify the answer and let me know if there is a mistake. I don't have time to go through all those answers right now. I'm just giving you a rough estimate of the answer. You can always verify the same from your textbook. Yeah. Third one. Can someone verify the answer from behind? What is the answer for that question? Or if you have the solution for the same in front of you, you can see from that. Now here 2x plus 1 dx is 2. Here this would be, you can treat this as x. So this would be x square by 2. Directly you can get the answer or you can solve it individually. So I can say it is 2x plus 1 square by 2 and then you treated this as x. So you have to divide by the coefficient of x. This would be 0 to a equal to 2. I hope you have followed this particular part. Now I'll take 1 upon 4 out. I'll first take a here. So this would be this would be difficult. So it is better to take it individually itself. This is 2x square by 2 plus x between 0 and a. This would be easier for you to solve. It is not that very difficult. It is only that you have to expand it. So this would be a square plus a minus 0 equal to 2. So this is a square plus a minus 2 equal to 0. This would be a plus 2 into a minus 1 equal to 0. So a would be minus 2 or a would be 1. Next, fourth one. 1 to a 3x square plus 2x plus 1 dx is equal to 11. Find the value of a. Now, here I'll solve it individually. I'll get 3x cubed by 3 plus 2x square by 2 plus x between 1 and a. And that is equal to 11. Now this and this gets cancelled. When I substitute, I'll get a cube plus a square plus a here minus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 11. So I'll get minus 3 minus 11. I'll get a cube plus a square plus a minus 14 equal to 0. Now, whenever you get cubic equation, you will have to find the first root by using. Yeah, Isha, have you sent any message? I couldn't read it.
Yes,
Any
sir.
doubt? Yeah, any doubt?
No, sir. Actually, I got a text that is it Isha Jain or Isha Matre?
Okay. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, now, when you have cubic equation, you'll have to first find the first root by using trial and error. and then find the other two by using synthetic division or the normal division. Now here, if you observe, we'll first put 0, then check whether this is equal to 0, then 1, then minus 1, then 2, then minus 2, then 3, then minus 3, 4, minus 4, and so on. Usually it doesn't go beyond 4. Now, here if you observe, 2 cube is 8, 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14, 14 minus 14 is 0. So, a equal to 1 is the first root by trial and error. Sorry, a equal to 2. Once I get the first root here, I'll find the other root by dividing this polynomial by a minus 2 equal to 0, or I'll take synthetic division. Now this is cubic, so I'll write here a cube, a square, a and constant in order. A cube, the coefficient is 1, a square, the coefficient is 1, a, the coefficient is 1, and this is minus 14. You first root is 2. Now, always take this as 0 first. 1 plus 0 is 1. 2 into 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 into 3 is 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 2 into 7 is 14. This is 0. Now, shift the position. This would be constant. This would be a. This would be a square. Now, this would give you a minus 2. This would be a square plus 3a plus 7 is equal to a cube plus a square plus a minus 14. Now, this is equal to 0. So, from 1 and 2, I can say this into this is 0. From 1 and 2, I can say a minus 2 into a square plus 3a plus 7 is 0. Now, if you observe a is 2 or a square plus 3a plus 7 is 0. But here, if you observe it carefully, you will realize that you cannot find the factors directly. Now, if you find the discriminant, you will find it is complex. Minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac upon 2a is the formula that you use. So what you can do is you can say b square minus 4ac is negative. Therefore, this solution is discarded. Or you can find the roots. You can say this is minus b is minus 3 plus or minus root 3 square is 9 minus 4 into 1 into 7 divided by 2. Minus 3 plus or minus 9 minus 28 is minus 19. So upon 2 complex and hence discarded. So you can say a equal to 2. Now some teachers may ask you to leave it here itself, but I would advise you to solve it till this part if this question comes in the board. Reason being, you have to show that this is complex and therefore you have discarded it. Only if you are aiming for 100 do you need to do this. Otherwise, you can leave it over here and take a chance. Now, coming to the substitution type of problems, 1e dx upon x into 1 plus log x the whole square. Here, there are two ways to solve these kind of problems. One is you can divide the numerator and denominator by 1 plus log x the whole square. Why am I doing that? Derivative of 1 plus log x is 1 upon x. I can directly substitute this. So that is one way to go about it. Now, what I can do is, or I can divide both numerator and denominator by x. So this would be 1 by x and this would be 1 plus log x the whole square. Then I'll take 1 plus log x as t. Have you followed this? Now, what I'll do is, just to make clear your doubts regarding the substitution part. Ideally, what I would have done is I would have written this as 1 upon x dx. I would have taken this as 1 plus log x the whole square. Now, this when it goes to the numerator, this would become 1 plus log x the whole raised to minus 2. And then I'll treat this as f of x raised to n. Here, I'll treat this as f dash x. So this would be f of x raised to n plus 1, that is 1 plus log x raised to n plus 1, that is minus 1 upon minus 1 between 1 and e. So this would be minus 1 upon 1 plus log x 1 to e. Now take that minus out. You would get here 1 upon 1 plus log e minus 1 upon 1 plus log 1. Now in this case, log 1 is 0, but here you cannot take this as log e to the base e because when you are using calculations over here, you cannot take this as log e to the base e. So 1 plus log e minus 1 upon 1 plus log 1 is 0. So this is minus 1. Now when you take the LCM over here, this becomes 1 minus 1 plus log e upon 1 plus log e. So 1 minus 1 gets cancelled, minus log e. So this would be plus log e upon 1 plus log e. If someone can confirm the answer for me, it would have been better. I would tell you which all sums have I covered here. As far as this is concerned, 2x plus 1 dx is 2. This is exercise 6.1, question number 7. This is question number 8. I'm not sure whether this is what they meant, but here miscellaneous exercise, question number 4. If you observe the 19th part, it is close to this, but then this is not e, there it is 2.
Sir, log e equals 1, no?
Log e equal to 1 if it is log e to the base e. Here, have they taken it as 1?
सर इसलिए शायद से 1/2 आएगा.
किसमें?
लास्ट आंसर.
फाइनल आंसर 1/2 दिया है क्या?
सर पता नहीं, पर log e मोस्टली 1 लेते हैं ना.
No, that is only when it is not in the numerical form. If you have integration problems, derivative problems, you take log e to the base e. But when it is calculation based, the common base is taken as 10 and not e. Now, just check this whether it is e or 2. I think it is e itself, and log e don't take it as 1 unless it is log e to the base e. Just check the answer given behind. Do you find the same question anywhere? I am not able to locate it. You can find it separate later on. I am not able to locate this. I saw this in question number 4, 19th one. Okay, remember for calculation, if numbers are involved, you don't treat this as E. If numbers are involved, you don't treat this as E. But if it is derivative or integration without definite integration being involved, then we treat it as E. So log e to the base e is 1, but here you don't treat it as E. I'm not able to locate the sum. You can find it later on because I don't want to waste my time searching for it now. Has anyone been able to locate it, this same problem? In the solved example or anywhere else? Anyway, I am not taking it here. Okay, I'll leave it over here itself. I'll take up the next problem. Yeah, any other doubt? I'm not able to locate it. I have rounded it off to the nearest possible sum that I could find in the miscellaneous exercise. Remember log e to the base e, you cannot treat it as log e to the base e because numbers are involved here. Question 6, 1 to 2 dx upon x square plus 6x plus 5. Now, this is quadratic with an x term, so we'll use last term method. That is one method to do it. But I would prefer using partial fractions when you can factorize it. Here, if you observe, you can write this as x plus 5 and x plus 1. I'm not going to do it by the normal factorization method where I use a and b and then I find the values of a and b. I can do it directly. How? This is x plus 5, this is x plus 1. The difference is 4. When I subtract the 2, I get 4. So I'll multiply and divide with 4 here. Now, the numerator can be written as x plus 5 minus x plus 1. This would be 1 upon 4. Here 1 to 2. This would be x plus 5 upon x plus 5 into x plus 1. This would be 1 to 2 x plus 1 upon x plus 5 into x plus 1. This and this gets cancelled. This and this gets cancelled. What is 1 upon x plus 1? It is log x plus 1. And this is minus log x plus 5. And it is between 1 and 2. First, I'll take this as 1 upon 4. I'll write this as log a upon b. So remember, this is not log a upon log b, it is log a upon b. Now, when I substitute the upper limit first, I'll get 1 upon 4 into log 2 plus 1, 3 upon 2 plus 5, 7 minus, when I take the lower limit, I'll get log 2 upon 6. Now this is log a minus log b. Since this is log a minus log b, I can write it as log a plus the reciprocal of this term. So I can write it as 3 by 1. Now log a plus log b is log a into b. So I can write this as log 3 by 7 into 3. This is 1 by 4, log 9 by 7.
सर
या से
इसको लास्ट टर्म से भी कर सकते थे ना?
लास्ट टर्म से भी कर सकते हैं.
वो भी एक बार बता दो ना.
मैंने ये कोई तो एक सम में किया था. I had done this in indefinite integration. Last term equal to half of middle term square upon 4 in half of middle term square, the middle term the whole square. So this would be half into 6 the whole square. So add 9, subtract 9. Okay. And later on, once I finish with the revisions, if you want any further methods, you can always tell me the same. I'll take those lectures for you all. But not the entire topic. Remember, I'm just going to touch upon the topic. I had done this in details when I taught you this. So I'll just take 1 or 2 problems of each type, whichever you mention. Here. Is there anyone else who wants me to do it by the last term method? Raise hand. If there are more than 5 hands, I'll do it. If anyone wants me to do it by last term method. Anyone wants me to do this by the last term method, raise your hand. No one. Okay. 3x upon 9x square minus 1. Now, if you observe here, linear upon quadratic. If it is linear upon quadratic, we'll try to get the derivative of the denominator in the numerator. Derivative of the denominator is 18x. So just multiply and divide with 6. Now this is f dash x, this is f of x. So this would be 1 by 6 log of denominator between 1 and 2. First substitute the upper limit, you will get 1 upon 6. Here you will get log of 9 into 4, 36 minus 1, 35 minus log of 9 minus 1, 8. So this is 1 by 6 log 35 by 8. case you want me to do it by other alternative method, raise your hand, at least 5 people. If they even 5 people, if they raise their hand, I'll do it. 5 people would be less than 15% as such, but still I'll do it. Yeah. So now the remaining 3 are based on properties. I'll take up the 4-mark question. That is, I'll say it is question number 5, the first part here. Two to 3, x upon x plus 2 into x plus 3. Again, if you observe here, this is linear. The combined power of the numerator is less than the combined power of the denominator. So we'll use partial fractions and then we'll substitute the upper limit, then the lower limit and subtract it. Now, if you observe here, I'll write here x upon x plus 2 into x plus 3 is equal to, I'll write here a upon the first term plus b upon the second term. Now, x equal to, I'll take LCM over here, I'll get a into x plus 3 plus b into x plus 2 and the denominator gets cancelled. This is 1, this is 2. Now, when I take x as minus 3, when x is minus 2, I'll get the value of a. So, minus 2 equal to a into 3 minus 2, a is minus half. And when I take x as minus 3, I'll get the value of b. So when x is equal to minus 3, I'll get minus 3 equal to b into minus 3 plus 2. That is minus 1. So therefore b is 3. Now I'll substitute, instead of this, I'll integrate these two and I'll substitute a as minus half and b as 3. And this would be between the limits 2 and 3. When I solve it further, I get minus half here. This is 1 upon x, so it would be log x plus 2. Then I'll take 3 out. This would be log x plus 3. And between 2 and 3, I'll first substitute the upper limit. I'll get minus half log of 3 plus 2, which is 5, plus 3 log of 3 plus 3, which is 6. Then minus of, I'll substitute the lower limit, minus half log of 2 plus 2, which is 4. And here plus 3 log of 2 plus 3, which is 5. When I take these two terms together, I would get I equal to half log of 4 minus log of 5. So it would be log 4 by 5. And then minus, this would be 3 log 6 minus 3 log 5. I'll take 3 common, I'll get log 6 minus log 5, which is log 6 upon 5. This would be the answer. Calculation mistake. A is minus, A is minus 2. So this is minus 2, this would be minus 2 log x plus 2, this would be minus 2 log 5, this would be minus 2 log 4, here this would be 2 log 4 by 5, and this would be 3 log 6 minus, this is 3 log 6 minus 3 log 5, yes. This is question number 4 of miscellaneous. Question number 4, first part. Now, today I'll cover all the questions that are of the simpler type, where you don't use any properties as such, just the basic functions. The second one is I equal to 1 to 2 e raised to 2x 1 by x minus 1 by 2x square dx. Now, whenever I see e raised to some other term other than x, I would prefer taking that term as t. Now remember, this should be of the form e raised to some term. This should be f of that function, and this should be its derivative. Now, this is dx, so the limit would be in terms of x. First, I'll substitute 2x as t. Now, when I take 2x as t, when I differentiate, I get 2 is equal to dt by dx. I get dx equal to dt by 2. Remember, here, when you substitute x, the t values would change. First of all, here, this is e raised to 2x. So it would be replaced by t. Then 1 upon x would be replaced by 1 upon t by 2. And here, minus 1 upon, this is 2 into x square. So that would be t square by 4. This is dt by 2. Have you followed it? X is 2x is t, so therefore x is t by 2. I am taking t square by 4 over here. Now I can here these are all in terms of t, so the limit should also be in terms of t. Now how do you get the limit in terms of t? Use the substitution. When x is 1, what is t? It is 2. X is 1, t equal to, when x is 1, use the substitution, t equal to 2 into 1. Then when x is 2, t equal to 2 into 2. So here this would be 2 to 4. This is e raised to t. This would be 2 by t minus 4. This goes up. It becomes 2 by t square. And this is dt. Take half out. You can take even 2 out. So this would give you half into 2. And this would be 2 to 4. This is e raised to t into 1 by t. And here I'll write plus of minus 1 by t square. Now if you observe, this is function. This is its derivative, function of t and its derivative. Now, here the answer would be e raised to t into 1 upon t between 2 and 4. When I substitute the upper limit, I'll get e raised to 4 upon 4 minus, when I substitute the lower limit, I get e square upon 2. So, this is the final answer. You can take e square common. In fact, you can write here, this is 2 e raised to 4 minus 2 e square upon 4. So e square common, you will get e square minus 2 upon 4. This is miscellaneous, question number 5. Question number 4, fifth part.
Sir,
Yeah, say.
in this kind of sums, the other method is rare, no? Any other method?
Or any other method that you can think about. You tell me the same, I'll tell you whether that is valid or not. If it
No,
is valid,
sir. No, sir. I can't think. That's why I'm asking.
yeah, there may be methods. There may be methods. I'm doing it by the first method that comes to my mind when I see this problem. There may be many more methods. So if there is any method, do let me know. I'll let you know whether it is correct or not. But what comes to my mind first is whenever I see e raised to some term other than x, I treat that as t and then I solve it further. When I get it over here, I know that one term is a derivative of the other and I can solve it directly. Followed? Now, if something else comes to your mind, yes, you can do it provided it is legitimate. You have to first see whether it is valid or not.
Yes, sir.
It may be right. There are multiple ways of solving any problem. The third question is log x dx. Now, whenever log appears alone, you have to multiply it with 1 and then use the formula u into v. So here, this would be log x into 1 dx and then solve it by u into v. This is logarithmic, this is algebraic. L comes before a in isolate. L comes before a, so this is u and this is v. Now, log x integration of 1 minus integration of 1 into derivative of log x, and then the product has to be integrated once again with respect to x between 1 and 3. Now log x, integration of 1 is x, minus integration of 1 is x, derivative of log x is 1 upon x. This is 1, 2, 3. Now this and this gets cancelled. This is x log x minus x between 1 and 3. Now substitute the upper limit, you get 3 log 3 minus 3, and then minus 1 log 1 minus 1. This is 0. Now this would be 3 log 3 minus 3 plus 1. You need to verify the calculation once again. I'll tell you which sum it is. You need to search for the calculation, because right now I don't have the time to go through all the calculations and see whether I am right or wrong. I am doing it as fast as possible. In fact, this is page number 144. Question number 4, the first part is very close to this, but it is 1 to 2 instead of 1 to 3. No, it is, sorry. Exercise 6.1, question number 11. For answers, you can always refer to the solution that I gave you when I taught you, because that time I used to go slow in the calculations. I used to concentrate on each and every part, and I used to make you verify the answers from behind. Right now, I don't have time to do all that. So you need to verify it from the solution that I had given you earlier. Next is x square log x. Here, x square log x. So we'll take u into v over here. This is product of two terms. We'll take u into v over here. This is algebraic. This is logarithmic. L should come first. So this is u. This is v. Now this would be I equal to log x here. Integration of x square dx minus, repeat this term, into derivative of log x. Then the product has to be integrated once again with respect to x between 1 and 3. So this would be I equal to log x, integration of x square is x cubed by 3. This would be minus integration of x square is x cubed by 3. Derivative of log x is 1 by x. You integrate this with respect to x between 1 and 3. X, this is x square. I would be equal to x cubed by 3 log x minus, I take 1 by 3 out. Integration of x square is x cubed by 3 between 1 and 3. You take x cubed by 3 out, and you get log x minus 1 by 3 within the bracket. In fact, there is no point in doing so. We can just substitute 3 here. This would be 3 cubed 27 by 3 log 3 minus 1 by 9. This is 3 cubed, that is 27. Then minus of 1 upon 3 log 1, that is 0. And then minus 1 upon 9, this is 1. This is 0. 9 3s are, so minus 3 minus 1 by 9, this is 9 log 3. And then minus 3 and plus 1 by 9. 9 log 3, this is minus 27 plus 1, minus 26 by 9. As I keep saying, you need to verify the answer from the textbook. I am just doing it so that you understand the method to solve it. This is x square log x. This is question number 4, miscellaneous. Question number 4, the third part. For those who are who would be happy scoring between 80 and 90, I believe this paper should work wonders, because They have given it directly from the board. I don't believe they would give less than 80% from here. So if you would be happy with 80 to 90 score, just do this sheet and go for the examination. You should score between that. But for those who are aspiring for 100, please solve all the problems that we have covered in class. Do not take a chance. This is just a reference material. This would first solve this so that you take yourself to 80 above, and then you keep solving the other problems to help you score that elusive 100 mark. Here. Now, the next one is question number 5, I equal to 0 to 1. E raised to x square into x cube dx. Now remember, the moment I see x square as the power of e, I'll take that as t. First of all, this is dx, so the limit would be in terms of x. When I take x square as t, its derivative is 2x dx, so I'll separate x dx from this. This would be 0 to 1. I'll write this as e raised to x square. I'll keep this as x square here, x dx, because I know derivative of x square is x dx, but with 2. Now, what I'll do is let x square be t. When x square is t, you need to differentiate with respect to x to get what dx would be replaced with. This would be 2x equal to dt by dx. So therefore, x dx would be replaced by dt by 2. Now observe here, you are going to replace x dx with dt by 2. X dx would be replaced with dt by 2. X square with t, and this is e raised to t. And now this is dx when x is 0. So here replace this with t. How? Substitution. Use this substitution. When x is 0, t is, when x is 0, t is 0. And when x is 1, t is 1. So this would be, when x is 0, it would be replaced with 0 here. X is 1, t is 1. Now take that half outside. You would get half 0 to 1 t e raised to t dt. Here, if you observe, this is algebraic, this is exponential. In isolate, a comes before e, so this is u, this is v. So therefore, this would give you I equal to half. In fact, I'll take half outside. I'll write here t here, integration of e raised to t dt minus integration of e raised to t dt into derivative of t, multiply it and then integrate it once again between 0 and 1. So here I would be equal to half. This is t. Integration of e raised to t is e raised to t. This is e raised to t. Derivative of t is 1. This is e raised to t dt between 0 and 1. This would be I equal to half t e raised to t minus e raised to t. Here, first substitute the upper limit. You will get I equal to half. This is 1 e raised to 1 minus e raised to 1. Then substitute the lower limit, e raised to 0 minus e raised to 0. So this would give you e and e gets cancelled. This is 1 by 2 is the answer. This is question number 4 of fourth part. Miscellaneous question number 4, fourth part. Activity question number 1. Now here if you observe, this is same as miscellaneous question number 4. Second question. If you observe here, combined power of the numerator is x plus 3, that is linear. Combined power of the denominator is x square plus 2x, that is quadratic. So the power of numerator is less than power of denominator, therefore we can use partial fractions. Now when you're using partial fractions over here, x plus 3 upon x into x plus 2 is same as a upon the first term plus b upon the second linear term. And as I said, this would be x plus 3 upon x into x plus 2 equal to, when you take the LCM, you get a into x plus 2 plus b into x, the whole upon x into x plus 2. This x into x plus 2 gets cancelled. Now, when x is 0, you'll get the value of a. When x is 0, you get the value of a as 3 equal to a into 2 plus 0. A is 3 by 2. Next, when x is minus 2, you get the value of b. So minus 2 plus 3 would be 1. A into 0 plus b into minus 2. So b would be minus half. So instead of this, I'll integrate these two. I'll get I equal to, instead of a, I'll write 3 by 2 upon x dx. Instead of b, I'll write minus half dx upon x plus 2. And here I'll write between 1 and 2. Take 3 by 2 out, I'll get 3 by 2, integration of 1 by x is log x. Then here minus plus, or I'll take minus half out, integration of 1 upon x plus 2 is log x plus 2, and between 1 and 2. Now, substitute the upper limit, you will get 3 by 2 log 2 minus 1 by 2 log 4. Here minus of, I'll substitute the lower limit, I'll get 3 by 2 log 1 minus half log 1 plus 2. Log 1 is 0. Here 3 by 2 log 2 and minus half log 3. I believe they would have left it here. Can someone verify the answer from behind? Or have they taken half outside and then taken 3 up? Can someone verify it? Have they taken half outside and then taken 3 up? So with this, I have done all the problems which are of the simpler type. Now I'll just teach you properties and I'll leave you so that when you come for the next lecture, you come prepared with the properties. Let's revise it once again so that when I'm doing sums related to properties tomorrow, you understand it better. There are 7 to 8 properties of definite integrals which you'll have to by heart. First one, remember. Now these are the sums which we are left with for tomorrow. Properties of definite integration. Remember, first one, if I write f of x dx between a to b, then if I find the same function value between b to a, the values would be the same except for the sign, minus a to b. That is, in short, if I take 1 to 2 x square dx and I find its value, and if I find 2 to 1 x square dx and I find its value, the values would be different only in sign. Only in sign. Next. This is the first one. Second property, if I write a to b f of x dx, or I write a to b itself f of t dt, that means the function is same except for the variable. Say instead of x square dx, I write t square dt between 1 and 2. Then in that case, the value of the 2 would be the same. The function doesn't, if the function remains the same, the variable doesn't matter. This is the second property. Go through these properties when you come for the next lecture. Otherwise, you won't follow tomorrow's lecture. Next, third property is where This is one very important property. If I have 0 to a f of x dx, I can replace that with 0 to a. Instead of x, I can write f of a minus x dx. Means what? Suppose I say I have 0 to 2 x cube dx. Instead of x, I can write here, this would be the same. Instead of x, I'll replace it with 2 minus x. And the answer would be the same. So this is, instead of 0 to a, I can, f of x dx, I can write upper limit minus x. Very important property. Most sums are based on this. You don't have the derivation for the same. Next, similar to this, if you have a to b f of x dx, it is same as a to b, but function should be a plus b minus x. Fourth property. Means what? Suppose you have 1 to 2, you have 1 to 2 itself, then this would be 1 plus 2 minus x. That means x would be replaced with this plus this minus x. So it would be 3 minus x the whole cube. This is the fourth property. Fifth property. If you have the lower limit and the upper limit to be the same, then you need to first check whether the function is even or odd. If the function is even, you have to write 2 times 0 to a f of x dx. If function is even, and what do I mean by function is even? I'll find the f of minus x value, I'll find f of x value. If they are equal, function is even. Now, if it is odd, the answer is 0. If function is odd. What do I mean by odd? I'll find f of minus x and I'll realize that it is f of x itself with a minus sign. Then it is odd function. Next. Sixth one. If I have interval a to c f of x dx and I say b is between a and c, then instead of a to c, I'll first integrate between a and b, and then I'll integrate between b and c. For example, if it is between 1 and 5 of x raised to 4 dx, I can take any value in between 1 to 2 and then plus same point I'll continue with 2 to 5. Or I'll take 1 to 3 and I'll take 3 to 5. Or I'll take 1 to 4 and I'll take 4 to 5. I'll keep the function the same. This is the sixth property. The seventh property is where you are given 0 to 2a f of x dx, and that would be 0 to a of function plus 0 to a of function, but here instead of x you will have 2a minus x dx. So this would be a function where the limit becomes half. So this is one property. This is used in two specific problems. So these are the formulae that you need to come prepared with tomorrow. Just by heart it. This is the last part for the day. If you have any doubts, stay back in the conference. Others can leave. Have a nice day, everyone. If anyone has a doubt, do let me know. Anyone has a doubt? If anyone has a doubt, do let me know. Anyone wants any further clarification on any particular part, do let me know. Just come prepared with these properties tomorrow. Anyone there who wants me to clarify something? Yes.
I had a doubt in one thing.
Yeah, say.
So this um,
You have a doubt in what?
the fifth sum.
Fifth sum of what?
Um,
The sheet, the miscellaneous part, the exercise part, which one?
solve the following 3 marks question. First question.
That is dx upon x into 1 plus log x the whole square. Is that the question?
Yes, sir. So I did it with the other method by taking.
You would have taken 1 plus log x as t.
Yeah, sir. But I got different answer.
You shouldn't have got a different answer. Wait, I'll do it. In that case, if the answer is indeed different, then it means I would have gone wrong in the calculation sum. What we'll do is we'll divide both numerator and denominator by x. So you'll get 1 by x here. X disappears from here. Let 1 plus log x be t. When you take 1 plus log x as t, here this would be when x is 1. You took 1 plus log x as t, or you took 1 plus you took log x as t?
So 1 plus log x.
Okay, so when x is 1, 1 plus log 1, that is 0, is equal to t. So t is 1. When x is e, you will get t equal to 1 plus log e. I hope you haven't taken this as log e as 1. Did you take log e as 1?
Sir, actually I didn't change the limits.
You have to change the limit. When you are taking t, you have to change the limit. What is derivative of 1 plus log x? That is 1 upon x dx equal to dt. So this would be I equal to, instead of e, you would get 1 plus log e. Instead of x equal to 1, you will get t equal to 1, and then 1 upon x dx is dt, and this is 1 plus log x is t, so this is t squared. So this is minus 1 by t between 1 plus log e and 1. First I will take 1 plus log e over here, so I would get minus 1 upon 1 plus log e. Then I will take plus, this would be 1 upon 1. When I take the limit, I get minus 1 plus log e upon 1 plus log e. How is the answer different?
So actually I took the same limits, that's why.
What you took the same limit? Okay, limit should be different.
Same limit.
Yeah, when it is dt, it should be t in terms of t. Followed? Yeah, if anyone has any other doubt other than that, let me know. Has everyone followed what mistake she had committed over here? If anyone has a doubt, Lamia, have you followed your mistake? Or you still have some doubt?
Yes. No, sir.
Followed?
Yeah. So actually I got my prelims paper today. So should I bring it to class or send pictures?
Or send pictures, that is all right. Or even if you bring it to class, it doesn't. It is not a problem. So if you bring it to class, I'll be able to see it. Okay, so you can bring it to class some other day.
So when should I bring?
Tomorrow I have your lecture around. I'm not sure what time I'll have your lecture. So let me see like what time I have your lecture. If it is 7:15, you come around 7.
Okay, sir.
Okay, 7 or 6. Oh yeah, you come around 5:15 or 5:30 and show me the paper.
5:30.
Yeah, 5:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Anyone else who has any other doubt apart from this? Anyone else who is copying this? Rahul, Kriti, Chetali, Samaya, Sankit? Anyone has any doubt? Does anyone have any doubt? Raise your hand if you have any doubt. Raise your hand if you are writing something. Or have you all left long back?